This video is intended for those teams that do elevator-style pyramid climbing only. If you don't know what that is, your team probably does not do elevator-style. For those of you that do elevator-style pyramid climbing, there are several of us that have been going around in the off seasons for 2024 and now 2025, and we've been seeing some really common mistakes that are hurting the way people are climbing pyramids, the efficiency of climbing elevator style, which in itself, that's its hallmark. It's supposed to be a fast, very efficient climb. So we thought we would get some of these out there. I want to thank the Badgerland water ski team for being willing to help demonstrate these common mistakes. There are 4 of them. We're putting this out there completely for demonstration purposes. We hope that this helps you out and everything. And if you have questions, please ask. But please take this to heart. We're even noticing veteran pyramid climbers struggle with these 4 items. Common issue number 1 is picking up the top tier climber. This could be in a 3 tier or possibly in a 4th tier as well. What you're seeing here is the 2nd tiers are reaching down and bodily lifting the 3rd tier climber. This is a big no-no. What you need to do is focus on the 2nd tiers as they do this. As you see them lifting, you notice that their weight is shifting into the center of the pyramid. One of the golden rules to avoid, you always want weight and pressure to shift to the outside of the pyramid, not to the inside. The top tier climbers should be supporting themselves and climbing up by themselves. They should not be required to be lifted by the tier beneath them. Now, exceptions could be made for very, very small climbers, but even then, they should be able to use the leg and thigh of the tier below them to help push them up to a standing position to do their climb. Here is a demonstration of the correct way for the top tier to come up. Notice right here, she's going to use her arm around the thigh of the 2nd tier and then reverse that grip and push off the thigh to push herself up without the 2nd tier's bodily having to lift her. This would also apply to a 4th tier coming up on the 3rd tiers in a 4-tier pyramid. In common mistake number 2, focus on the climber in the purple t-shirt. She is the 3rd tier in what will be a double top 3 or a 4-tier pyramid, and she's coming up incorrectly for her standing walk-in. She's getting up into a 2-1 pyramid formation, and this is incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. The 3rd tier should come up in a straight up totem up position, not in a pyramid position. What happens here is key. She is now in the wrong position to step over correctly, and so she now has to either lunge like she's doing. She has to take a long step, making her unbalanced, and she's going to push off her corner base right here. And see how that disturbs her corner base by doing that? We don't want to do that. We want everybody to stay balanced, and these walk-ins should be done in pairs together without the big lunge over step. By doing it the correct way, you'll put yourself in a better position to climb faster and more efficiently and be loaded to go to the 3rd tier. Watch for the correct way to do this. Here's the correct way to do a standing pairs walk-in. You always need to be concerned not just with yourself, but with what is happening with the rest of the pyramid as well as the bases beneath you. So you hear or see here the climber in the t-shirt in red is a 2nd tier, and she climbs first. So she climbs into the 2-1 position. Meanwhile, the climber in the purple t-shirt waits. She's the 3rd tier. She uses the thigh of the 2nd tier to pull herself straight up into a totem position. Once she is up in a totem position, both the 2nd tier and the 3rd tier will loosely brace between them, and they move together as a unit to maintain a better balanced position. As we see the climber in the purple t-shirt, the 3rd tier, she steps over, and as she comes over into the middle, she will immediately be in the correct foot placement to stand on her right leg and put her left leg and immediately give it to her second tier corner, so she is loaded and ready to climb instantaneously and does not have to wait. That foot goes up right here, and she will go right into the load position, ready to climb up to third tier. Doing the correct crossouts or crab walks is very important to correct elevator pyramid style because it all goes together and interacts with what's going on. Focus on the second tier climber in the purple t-shirt here. She's going to do an incorrect walkout because she doesn't do the crab walk style. She moves alone, non-paired in a standing walkout. Definitely the wrong way to do this. Two things are going to happen here that are a problem. Number one, she's going to jostle the core center of the pyramid because she needs to kind of push off the middle to get moving. She's also not moving quick enough. She elevated down and then had to stand back up. That is inefficient climbing out. So she now had to push out on her core centers, her bases, and then she's moving independently at a time when the pyramid's at its weakest and most unbalanced. Typically, teams are turning at that point, might be hitting waves, and she's moving alone without a pair with her to help her balance. That's a very weak, unbalanced position to be in. Here's the correct way to do this. Focus here on the second tier climber in red. That's the person that we want to watch here on this demo of how to correctly crab walk out. And this is also important because it's going to play into common mistake number 4 as well. Both of these, number 3 and number 4, are going to go together. She's going to complete the elevator down, and she will stay in a squatted position. So she squats the elevator, she brings her third tier down. She does not stand back up. She is immediately moving into her crab walk as quickly and as smoothly as she can. She has shifted her weight now to the outside of the pyramid, which is where we want it. We want to get it off the center as fast as possible. And she's moving independently in a low center of mass position by herself in a balanced position to the outside of the pyramid to get away from the core, which is still climbing down, to not disturb them. And then she can ski away with her partner away from the pyramid as her climb is completed. In this fourth common mistake, focus on the third tier climber in the purple t-shirt. She's going to get elevator down, and instead of promptly moving to the outside of the pyramid, she's going to keep her weight balanced on the center of the pyramid, where your pyramid is typically the most exhausted and where it's prone to failure because it's still moving. So she gets elevator down here, and she should be moving with the second tier, but she doesn't. And we've been seeing this a lot lately. She's going to hold her weight on the center, and she's leaning not only on the guy base in the middle, but she's also leaning on her center second tier gal as well. And that's a problem. She's keeping everything in the middle of the pyramid, where when we're coming down, we want everything to get to the outside as fast as we can. And so this standing there waiting and taking your time can't happen. Even if you have great balance, you need to think about the rest of the pyramid and what's happening there. She needs to move much more quickly and transition to the outside corner of the pyramid. Here's how that's done the right way. Here's the correct way to climb this. Focus again on the same climber, the third tier that is in the purple t-shirt. And this is how this interacts with issue number 3 or mistake number 3. Her second tier in the red t-shirt needs to do that very quick, very efficient squatted crab walk out so she clears space for her third tier coming down, and her third tier is immediately moving with her to the outside of the pyramid. So here comes the elevator. Her foot is going to the outside shoulder of the center guy. You're going to see the climber in red move out immediately crab walk, and she's only balanced for a split second. Remember, this is slowed down to 1/4 speed right now. And her foot is following directly behind the girl next to her. Boom, right there. It's hard to see, but that's her step over right there. she's already in motion to the outside of the pyramid and getting her weight and center of mass off the middle of the pyramid. She's now to the outside corner and can be brought down, and she's not impacting the center of the pyramid that is still climbing down.